evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today we are doing the last of the top 5, at least for this format. Top 5 trap cards of this format. And when I mean this format, I do mean the November and the February adjusted list. These trap cards are definitely proving their worth throughout the format, but I think we should start talking about them because time is cheap and, or time ain't cheap and I ain't got no money. Number 5 on this list arguably could have been higher, but I had to put the brothers together, so, it was either like number 5 or number 3, and I just felt that it was better at number 5. Timespace Trap Hole. Timespace Trap Hole is, I like to call it pay 5k GG LOL, okay? Because when you're activating this card and you're returning up to 5 pendulum monsters or monsters being summoned from your opponent field back to the deck, that's probably gonna win you the game. Timespace Trap Hole is not only one of the better cards because it returns cards from the hand or extra deck being summoned back into the deck, you also lose life points at the end of the resolution, which you can only think that one day somebody's gonna find a way around that, and then Timespace Trap Hole is going to be free. Oh, I dread that day. That day sounds horrible. What makes Timespace Trap Hole really good at what it does is that it's searchable by 2 ways. First way you can search it is through Trap Tricks Marabello, which has been a staple of the hat format, and that's where Timespace Trap Hole actually gained its first popularity. The second card is Trap Tricks Reflatia, which allows you to activate it from the deck. So I don't even need it set. It's not even gonna get hit by cards like Twin Twister, MST, Dragon Pit Magician, and all that other crap. See, that's why it almost went number 3. You guys should see it by now. Number 4 on this list is Solemn Strike. That's right, Solemn Strike deserves a really good place on this list because at the cost of 1,500 life points, you can stop a summon or an effect monster. I just thought that was really good. Now, to add insult to injury to Solemn Strike, it's searchable, and if through the search card, you also might not have to pay life points if it's on, your pin scale. Like, really, Konami? I don't have to pay life points, so you guys are making life point payments optional now? Because I don't want to play any life points for any of my effects. If you guys, why not just, give it to everybody? That's right, Solemn Strike is searchable by Ariana Grande. I call it Ariana Grande, get over it. And through Ariana Grande's effect, you might not have to pay life points, making Solemn Strike a really good card. Now, before I even go into details, Solemn Strike can only stop inherent summons, so cards that are pendulum summoned or monsters that are summoned that don't activate their effects. A good example would be the special summon of BLS. It doesn't activate its effect, so Solemn Strike can stop it. Another great thing about Solemn Strike is that even if the monster's already on the field, which gives it a little bit of versatility, if an effect monster is activated, flip it face up, pay 15, and be rid of the monster. That's why Solemn Strike makes it on this list. I think the next biggest thing is that it's at 3, which kind of helps it out with, Ariana Grande, so yeah. Number 3 on this list is Solemn Warning, and like Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning is searchable through Ariana Grande, and you don't have to pay life points through Ariana Grande. Like, seriously, Konami? Seriously, what the you think? Like, seriously, this is frustrating. Solemn Warning is Solemn Strike on crack. Wow, you do sacrifice a little bit of versatility, whereas if the monster's already on the field, Solemn Warning probably isn't going to stop the monster. But Solemn Warning does offer a quality that's a little better than Strike. Solemn Warning practically stops all types of summons, whether it's a normal summon, if it's a special summon, or if it's a special summon through a card effect. As long as you're stopping the card effect initially, Solemn Warning can stop it, and that's why it makes it so good. Yeah, I know, it's at 1, all this other stuff, but hey, Solemn Warning's at 1 for a reason. This card's outright busted. Like, what were you thinking, Konami? Seriously, why did you make this searchable and then... I need to write a letter to the editor. Number 2 on this list is another LOL, flip face up, GG, shake my hand cards. Anti-Spell Fragrance. Now, if you play pendulum decks and you go second and your opponent flips up Anti-Spell Fragrance and you don't have any answers, you're going to lose the game. Anti-Spell Fragrance completely locks out pendulum decks from being placed in the scout because in the rulebook you can't set pendulum spell cards. You can't activate them, which means Spell Fragrance says, hey, you can't pendulum summon. Literally, when you have Spell Fragrance face up on the field first turn, what is a pendulum summon? I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. Is that the thing that you play in those? Nope, they don't get. You can't do that. I've never heard of that. Let's play, 2010, 2011, 2012 Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't want to play 2015, 16 Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's basically what anti-spell fragrance does. The best thing about fragrance is that not only does it completely stop pendulum summons, it's also good against a lot of spell-reliant decks because it slows down the game, because spells are the most important thing of the format right now. It forces you to set them before you can activate them, therefore giving your opponent an additional turn, or giving you an additional turn to use your cards, because pretty sure if you're playing fragrance, your deck probably doesn't have a lot of spells, to use your cards, either disrupt your opponent's cards or just flat out win the game at the time. Spell Fragrance is a very, very, very unfair card in a lot of good decks. Before I get to number 1, the best trap card in the game, I thought I should mention quite a few other great trap cards that you guys can even post down below that I missed. Cards such as Bottomless Trap Hole, Treacherous Trap Hole, Breakthrough Skill, Mask of Restrict, Imperial Iron Wall, Storm and Mirror Force, and what the hell is that? Oh, Call of the Hunted are amazing cards for this format and last format, even though the format hasn't necessarily changed. But number 1 on this list is our reigning champion, Vanity's Emptiness. And why people don't play as many Vanity's Emptiness as they did 2 formats ago, I don't know. Maybe because it's limited. Who knows? Vanity's Emptiness completely shuts out the opponent from doing, or shuts you out too, but you probably don't care. Completely shuts players out from playing Yu-Gi-Oh at this point in time. Since the special summon mechanic is used like 60 million times more than the normal summon mechanic, Vanity's Emptiness practically says, hey man, all that pin summoning, special summoning, instant fusioning, call it a hunting, all that other stuff, stop it man, stop it. And what makes Vanity's Emptiness so much worse, it's no such thing as more worse, stop counting that, is that if you're playing a pendulum deck, you can manipulate Vanity's Emptiness so it doesn't leave the field and you can still make an awfully lot of moves. This card has an ill design, is very broken, and you actually almost have a light switch on it because, if you're playing certain decks, you don't send cards to graveyard, so, yeah. Now, the reason why this card is the reigning champion is not only because of the qualities I said, it's because it's the reason why it's the reigning champion. You establish a huge board, and while your opponent's making a comeback, you flip that emptiness face up and you get some fries. Make sure you don't salt them because your opponent's gonna have enough salt for you. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I want to see you guys' top 5 trap cards down below in the description. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.